Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover Transformers Legacy Skywasp. Here is Skywasp in his robot mode, and he's pretty neat. Gives me a very Skywarp colory vibe here with him. He does have like translucent wings, which are red. It's pretty nice. Does happen to have a lot of light piping here kind of in the back too, which is kind of cool. So it does give him the ability to have red eyes. This is the standard head that comes with him. You can see a little bit of that light piping kind of coming through there a little bit. Pretty neat. I do like him a lot. I'm a big fan of bugs, and this guy's pretty cool. You guys saw recently I had a huge haul that came in, and this guy happened to have been in it. He does happen to have an alternate head, which is this one here, which kind of gives him more of the buzzsaw face. I'm more of a fan of this face on him, honestly. I think it looks better for Skywasp because it gives him more of that wasp look in his robot mode. From what I gather, these are pretty interesting. You can kind of give them a digigrade type of look with the legs, or you can just do your standard regular articulation of the arm going, or the foot going out like this, which is kind of cool. He does have waist rotation, and he does have a little bit of not really an ankle pivot here, really. It's more of a ball joint, which is kind of cool. So it does have a little bit of an ankle, but not a whole lot. Just enough to give you a few dynamic poses with him. So, I mean, he is pretty neat. Everything here is more of a universal kind of joint. He does have rotating fists, and his arm extends out, and the whole 360, and kind of just your standard articulation, which is cool. He does turn here, although it's weird that he happens to have another joint here. So he does have a lot of posability in him. The antennas on the chest are actually posable as well, so you can kind of move them in whichever direction you see fit on it. The one thing that is kind of hampers this a little bit is the legs. These bug legs sometimes get in the way, but I mean, it kind of gives him more of a, I'd say, a more menacing look whenever you have all these legs kind of just splayed out everywhere. It just really gives you kind of a creepy vibe. And the cool thing is you can move these legs kind of any direction you want because they're on little joints. And it's funny because you can kind of give him like almost like he's got 6 legs down here versus just the 2. And it doesn't really do anything for like stability, but it just kind of gives him more of a creepier looking vibe. I mean, he's a bug. He should be creepy. He should, like, bug you some, as they say. He does happen to have a weapon. The weapon is here, stored on the back side of his rear part of his abdomen, which pops off. And it's just like a little tiny little stinger gun. These are not blast effect compatible. Would have been cool if they were, but they're not. But he can hold his weapon pretty successfully, which is nice. He does happen to have this really nice greenish gold tint going on throughout him, which is nice. I actually like this kind of greenish gold. Breaks away from the standard yellow you usually would see. He does come unpegged pretty easily here in the waist, but that's kind of just the way the mold works for pretty much every one of these. If you had the Waspinator or the Buzzsaw, it's pretty much the same situation. But he does, like I say, has an alternate head, which these are just popped on with ball joints, so you can put the other head on if you're interested in that. And that's what he looks like with the Buzzsaw head. Like I said, I'm a bigger fan of the actual insect head, not this one as much. This one kind of gives me too much of a bat vibe versus this one, which to me, I just think it looks cooler. I'm more into this kind of look anyhow. But let's take his weapon off and put it back here. And his wings are actually on ball joints, so you can position them kind of any direction you really want. I mean, if you really want to make him look huge, you can, you know, put his wings up like that, which is cool. I like that. It's not bad. Very neat. But let's go ahead and transform him. You, first off, just take his rear legs, and this part always confuses me. Spin this around, and then collapsed legs. And then these little portions here that are part of the feet will actually collapse just like that. And then you'll have to kind of collapse this a little bit. Actually, you know what? I might actually have this backward. This does confuse me a little bit here on his transformation. He's definitely a strange one. Yeah, it does go the other direction. So you guys get to see me struggle with modern transformations, because I'm not the best at these. I've struggled with the modern transformers for quite some time now. I'm really into more of the simple ones, just because it's fun for me. These are cool if you're really wanting articulated figures. You see, it just snaps into place just like that. And then this portion here on the front of the bug, actually just kind of move his arm here out of the way. Kind of extend this here. Then you'll tuck the head up underneath the front part, and you'll take his arms and then push them in, just like so. And this is where it kind of gets a little tricky for me. These actually will tuck in, and they're supposed to have a little post here that's supposed to poke into this tiny little hole down here. It's kind of hard to see on him because he's so black. But yeah, that's where that goes. And then you'll do the same on the other side. And the fists, you kind of just put them, I kind of just straighten them out a little bit to put them in the position. And Skywasp here is pretty cool. I mean, he's not terrible. He does have a Predacon emblem that's very hard to see because it's purple on black, but it's right there. Would have been nice if they made it a little more vibrant, or just at least put a silver backing on it so you can see it. It took me forever to find that. I was like, does he even have an insignia? And he does. Then as for these actually supposed to move forward here. Okay, there we go. Trying to get this whole thing here to collapse in the back is kind of hard to do. But, and then he's supposed to peg in kind of in this area right here where this part is, where the arms are, where the arms and legs supposed to meet together. It's a very finicky transformation, I have to admit. Is it terrible? No, it's not terrible. It's just, it takes a bit of getting used to. And then he just moves his little feet down, and then reposition his wings, and just get all his legs there positioned the way you want them, and there you go. You now have a wasp. And he's pretty neat looking. I actually like what he looks like in wasp mode. I'm a big fan of bugs. I like the bugs that are, you know, kind of have a little different look to them. I'm really into the Wateros things and Diaclones, so this kind of really fits that vibe. As you can see, he's got very nice paintwork. He's very, very well painted. And I like these wings because you can actually position these kind of naturally almost on his back, so it does look the part. He does have just standard articulation here for the legs and such, so I mean that's about all I get there. The mandibles though actually open and close, which is kind of cool. He does have little mandibles that open and close, which is nice because you know you can have him chomp on things. He does have a bit of a head articulation as well, so I really kind of wish they'd, you know, make this thing an ant. I want a gigantic ant. That's what I want. I like the ants. Ants are cool. This is like, you know, something they could do with that. Which I think they did, I want to say it was Beast Wars Inferno that way. I don't really get into Beast Wars that much, but when it comes to the bugs, I'm actually really a fan of them. I like them a lot. I loved Wasp and Air back in the cartoon. I thought he was cool, but, you know, it's cool to have Skywasp here. This is definitely a character they kind of basically invented just because he had mold, but he's really neat. Sadly, there's no place to really store the spare head he comes with. This came with the Buzzworthy Bumblebee 4-pack, by the way, so this would be an individual robot you would get out of that set. So this would be actually be a piece that would be parted out from it. So if you're into trying to find one of these, you're probably just going to have to get on eBay or find somebody on, you know, one of the marketplaces or whatever, or somebody that's willing to part it out to get this. And when I did collapse this, by the way, the head does split in half, which is kind of funny. I mean, you can literally give him a headache, which is hilarious. I think it's pretty great. To me, it's like, you know, you can go like super mode or something here, because this guy's head like splits in half. I do kind of dig that. It's funny. But anyway, that is Transformers Legacy Skywasp. I don't really do Beast Wars that much, and, you know, I don't, like I said, I didn't really collect them much back then, so this is a really cool piece. And if you guys are looking for one of these, like I said, you'll have to probably look in the aftermarkets basically to kind of see if you can find one. But anyway, this has been Plascon. This has been yet another crazy Transformer review, and I'll see you guys around. I have plenty more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye!